To the top right in yellow. The SDX Soul player down a game, needs support. He is
SDX Soul Innovation.
8th team major, spoke highly of him. He certainly proved himself last season, doing decently already in this group. His opponent, the final boss, he goes by very few other names. The only other one is
MVP DongRaeGu.
He also goes by Pak Suho, but you know, that's quite rare for foreign fans to hear. Cloud Kingdom is a very different map from the map we just witnessed. It's a little bit more open. It's not quite as stretched and narrow. So this is a map where the style is going to be a little bit different from these two players. I think what we're going to see from Innovation, you know, I was a little bit surprised to not see a CC first on this map, but I think we're going to see either more direct pressure from him rather than this kind of this push that comes out where DRG's creep is just too far and it doesn't work. DRG is like, well, I have too much creep. Your Hellions didn't do too much. You let me get too strong. He needs to do something a little bit more direct, or he needs to take a fast third command center without gas and try to get ahead on his own. Because if he takes the middle ground, DRG is not a player who's going to fall behind. He's not going to die to your pressure no matter how well you execute it. He's not really going to fall behind. He's just going to defend eloquently. That's what he's known for. DRG, on the other hand, could have a trick up his sleeve. He hasn't shown any all-ins just yet in this group. This is another two-player map. So far, no gases, but he could show an all-in. Would not put it past him. Innovation wants to get his CC down. There's a twist of irony here. He's going to be drone blocked. In fact, he has to wait for the Marine to come out and chase away. So it denies that command center just a little bit. Also gets the perfect scouting information of what's happening. Sees the command center itself physically. The cancel of command center costs a lot of resources, so he knows this is not going to be a fake into gas. There's no such build, really, that a Terran could pull off. He also has the Overlord to double check. So right now, DRG with all the information in the world. Innovation, on the other hand, is in the main base as well. He's checking for gases. He knows that possibility is there. What if DRG switches things up? What if he goes for a Baneling Buster or a Roach all-in, or just a Roach pressure? I gotta be ready for this. He starts... Oh, I'm mistaken. The neutral depot gets me every time a player is yellow. I thought he started a bunker there. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Just a neutral depot at the bottom ramp, as Legend highlighted. 2 gases complete for Innovation. He's doing what I expected. You know, I wanted to see him go for a fast third without gases, but that build is kind of falling off a little bit right now in Korea. For good reason, because if you do that, your Hellions are too late. And you don't get much benefit out of having more minerals early on unless you're going to do a big barracks attack. So most people are going gas before third CC. Innovation makes his choice here. The follow-up, of course, becomes the most interesting part. What's he going to do? Depot being taken out now by Marines, so he gets a little bit more living space. We'll probably make a bunker there. DRG, on the other hand, has not taken gas. Will likely take a third hatchery fairly soon. He's just powering up his units, getting his queens out, for example. He wants to go up to 4 at least to be able to deal with those Hellions, which are going to be reacted out very soon. Based on what we've seen from Innovation already, I do not think we'll see Banshees. I think it's much more likely we see just very standard barracks follow-up, or we see double factory Hellion play. Not going to see Banshees. In fact, almost no one is doing Banshees nowadays in Korea. MVP pulls it out of his hat sometimes, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, but maybe Polt as well. Polt does it from time to time. Tech Cloud goes down, no starport, Hellions, no second factory. Double gas up for DRG though. Probably just going to add Evolution Chambers, play similarly to what we saw him and Safano already do in this group. DongRaeGu is a player you don't want to leave alone. You either want to attack him directly or you want to take your own advantages. Middle ground road, I feel, against DRG is not the right answer. So what is Innovation's answer? Just getting those Hellions out now. Wants to see his opponent's third. He sends the units to the ramp. You guys can't see him, now you do. Just 2 Hellions, sees the queens, bounces off the watchtower like a ping pong ball, now going to go into the third base. It's more like a pinball machine ball at this point, with how he's going around. Just checking everything he can, finding all the information he needs. Not able to see Evolution Chambers. because of the way the Queen's were placed. Now he knows he can't really check for that, but generally speaking, if the third base is this late, you're going to expect Evolution Chambers. There's no attack coming across the map. You already checked for that. So he knows the Evo Chambers are going up. And that's going to make him feel really comfortable, knowing that his upgrades are not very far behind, if at all. In this case, they're ahead. Hellions want to find their way in here. He forces a triple cancel there on those tumors. Of course, they can just be remade, but these little things add up. The Queen's now trying to come over here to defend this hatchery. He's got great Overlord coverage of which direction the Hellions are going to come from. And this is exactly what Innovation wants. He wants them to cancel repeatedly over and over again. Hellions are really tough to use nowadays with the Queen patch, but there are ways, and we can see Innovation here, even though he's not able to kill the Queens or really kill the tumors, he can slow them down a little bit. Just a slight annoyance for DRG right now. Losing almost nothing. Just time. Spore Crawler goes up for DRG, as well as the Lair, knowing that the possibility of Banshees is definitely there. Does not want to get caught with his pants down. That reactor on the factory is, of course, going to be for medevac production. We're already starting to see a good amount of Marines being produced here now that the production cycles are starting with the additional barracks added. Armory, again, just slightly off, it looks like. Going to line up okay. Both players going to end up pretty even in upgrades going into the mid-game here. Baneling Nest and the Lair finishing up for DRG at the same time. We'll probably add an Infestation Pit immediately. Probably will skip Baneling Speed until he feels he needs it as well. Find out what he chooses first, as the Lair is now finishing. Just a little bit of switching around, additional barracks. Wants to start siege tanks, get the medevacs going with that reactor he made. And you know what? DRG goes Spire. So he's going to be going for mutas just like we saw in Game 1. Not something I expected to see from him on Cloud Kingdom, but he's quite known for it. He and ST both just loving mutas. Not liking to break away from that style too much. 2-2 on the way, just slightly ahead for Innovation, depending on when DRG hits his timing here. He's almost done with his upgrades. We'll see how fast he hits it. He's getting Baneling Speed, of course, an absolute must with Beetle's play. Starts +2 to a little bit behind, but decently similar to Innovation. The upgrade's probably not going to come into play in this game. At least not 2-2. No player going to have a distinct advantage there. DRG hasn't taken a fourth. He's sitting back. He's banking up resources to go for mutas. When that Spire finishes, he may be able to get 5 or 6. Going to want to go up to at least 8, do some initial harass, and then shut down drops. Then depending on how much damage he does with the Baneling waves he's going to start sending out, he may commit heavily to mutas and try to shut down everything Innovation makes and just overwhelm his opponent like we saw in Akalon already. Or he can just make infestors and transition. Innovation, though, is not giving him a lot of time to think about it. Moving out now, picks up immediately when he sees the Banelings, taking some really nice hits, targeting down those Banelings, dropping a Marine on one. Just trying to make sure DRG wastes as much gas as possible. DRG starts 6 mutas, could start a 7th. That Overlord finishes. Goes up to 7 now. And this game is shaping up to be really close, really even. It's one of those games where neither player has made a dire mistake. Eventually in StarCraft, someone will make a mistake. That's why it's a competitive sport. And we're not watching AIs play against each other. DRG going for a run by here. This is slightly annoying for Innovation, but you see he doesn't lose much here. The biggest annoyance for him is that now he has to send some of his army back, so he no longer has this map presence that he had where he was starting to clear up the creep tumors, then picking up and clear and picking up, and with this many units, the mutas wouldn't be able to clean them up. This is a great catch on those lanes. But he's still not able to clear the creep up, and DRG is starting to spread past the watchtowers now. And now the mutas are out as well. So these units can't be picked up to be saved. He needs more Marines, and these Hellions certainly help out a little bit, but not against the Mutalists. Mutalists fly. It's the truth. I wouldn't tell you a lie. 4th base now down for DRG. Innovation, on the other hand, struggling to really have any sort of map presence. Look at the minimap. Not one single Terran unit is outside of his ramp. Not even one. No drops, no scans, no Marines, nothing. DRG has total map control, and he's going to use it. Picks off a depot here. Innovation already supply block. Going to go into the red here for a second. Oh wow, nice repair actually. I swear every time I say a building's going to die, it just doesn't. Goes in here, goes to pick it off. Innovation in a situation now where he is trapped, and he needs to turtle and get a maxed out army and hope to trade one time well against DRG, and then go for multi-prong harass and start to pick him apart just like he did against Stefano. But if DRG never gives him that trade, DRG is going to have the better bank. He still has map control. This is something that could give Innovation an edge if Stefano, or rather DRG, messes up his micro here. But you know what? There's just not enough siege tanks. The unsiege is here prematurely. No siege tank shots were fired, and DRG may just take this Code S spot right now. He's taking out the Medivacs. There's way too many Lings here. All the SCVs at the third base are dead. DRG nearly now doubling the Harvester count of Innovation. Trading a little bit inefficiently here with his views, but again, it's just too much. It's overwhelming, just like on Aquilon. The rest of the Lings stream in. Innovation now down to 44 army supply. DRG, 30 army supply ahead here. Takes out the last of the siege tanks here. He will be able to take out this base, and it looks like he is going straight to the round of 16. Not a bumpy road for DRG tonight. Really nice attacks here, great micro. A lot of balls to make that decision to go for the attack. Especially on this map at those positions where he was attacking into that choke point. It's Innovation unsieged his tanks. Even if his tanks were sieged, I don't think he would have had enough, but DRG just got the perfect angle, surrounded everything. DRG goes to the round of 16, not dropping a single set, making it look easy, and a smile and a little bit of a celebration there. He's got 16 stars around his name because that's where he's going. Innovation, a great showing in the first set, looking like he was facing a completely different human against DRG. Now he's going to, of course, face the winner of Stefano and Hack, which will happen after a 5-minute break. Remember, guys, this is a rare treat. This is Stefano finally accepting a Code S seed, being here in Korea, playing in Pro League already. Here now, about to sit in that booth and play his match. He actually just walked by. You guys probably saw him. He's really excited. You know, he's been practicing a lot. Get on Twitter. Hashtag Stefano and hashtag GSL, and let everybody know, whether you're doing it by Facebook on IRC or messaging your friend on Google Talk or something. Let everybody know this is happening. Hey, did you know Stefano actually might be out of the GSL on his first try? You can, of course, make sure you tweet at GOMTV and at ProxyWolf. I'm going to be reading you guys this message during the break. See you guys when it's done.